Leah and Steve. We're doing an AMA today and talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I asked a couple of days ago for people to submit questions, so we're going to go ahead and start with those until I see any come up on the screen. So the first one is, how are we coping with our fame, our newfound fame? And other than a couple of random people on the ship recognizing us, I think that's all the fame we've gotten so far.
Yeah, I don't know of anything, so.
It hasn't made much of a difference in our life.
No.
If there was, the second question is there anything that we wished we had taken but didn't?
Brought with us on the ship.
Yeah, brought with us on the ship.
I don't know.
I can't think of anything. I do. Oh, when we were in Antarctica, I really wish that I had brought live streams outside.
Yeah. Really think of anything? There's a lot of things you could probably.
Hi from Missouri, Michelle Stevenson. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did pretty good with the packing. We overpacked for what we usually do. So, the third question I got was, did someone pass away? Yes. We don't know their name. They didn't release that information to us because it's kind of none of our business. But it was reported in the national media, so I feel okay in confirming that.
Some condolences to the family, though.
And yes, condolences to the family. Okay, question number 4. This one's going to be a long one. Somebody wanted to know our love story, how we met. So this was a question that came up. Yes, Lisa, we are on the cruise for the entire 9 months. Do you want to start?
No, go ahead.
Okay. We met when we were both working in Afghanistan, and started a friendship there that continued after we both left. I left before he did, and started visiting each other back in the United States, and then I went working on another overseas job, so we managed to visit each other on that one. And both Steve and I have been off and on working overseas at many different locations in the time that we've been together, because it's been 10 years.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the strangest part is that we met in Afghanistan. Who knew? What?
You didn't turn your microphone on, by the way.
Didn't I not?
No, it's the green light is not on. So in case you were having a hard time hearing Steve, that might be why. There you go.
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me now?
Just confirming mine's on too. Yes.
Okay. Met in Afghanistan and continued friendship a little bit longer, and then started seeing each other more seriously and through the years,
and doing most of it long distance, which was weird. And then right in the middle of it, about in the halfway point for us, Steve was working in the U.S. and I got transferred by my company also to the U.S. Working a remote job, so I could pick where I wanted to be. So we were in the same location for a year in a very tiny apartment, pretty much 24/7. So
that was fun. We got a puppy too,
and we got a dog that we shared it with.
Pete, 75 pounds of pure love.
And Michelle Stevenson said next year will be our 10-year. How great! Congratulations, Michelle. So here's another long-ended question. How did we decide we wanted to do the cruise?
Well, Leah had seen it early 22.
Yes, early 2022.
And started mentioning it, and I was still thinking that I had some work to do, some empty spots in my bank account I wanted to continue to fill up, and
well, both of us did.
Yeah. Pretty much at that point, early that year, Leah had picked up a contract and went to work over in Guam, and I was working up in Offutt Air Force Base.
So we were pretty much, at the time, we were just concentrating on building up our retirement accounts and doing everything we needed to do for that. And then well, we both like travel in
Yeah.
general, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
one of the reasons why we've been overseas work for as long as we have.
Yep. Yep.
And when I saw it come up, we kind of were discussing it, but I wasn't sure how long the project I was on was going to last, and and then sorry, I'm sorry, a funny question came up, and I'm not answering it. So when I saw it come up, this is something that I've wanted to do, a long-term cruise, particularly in Europe or the Middle East, is something I've been wanting to do since I was in my 20s. And so we were kind of talking about it, and then Steve joined me in Guam with the intent to finish the rest of the year for 2022 and maybe 2023 working there. And
Yeah.
then I'll let you tell that part.
Well, I got to Guam August 3rd of that year, and August 4th, I promptly had a heart attack. That was fun.
Yeah, very scary for me.
So after all of that, and we started making our exit strategy from Guam back to the States, since Guam had no cardiologist on the island, so I needed to get back to the States and stabilize myself and figure out what else was going on. So later in the year, we kept discussing it a little bit, and of course my attitude had changed towards traveling as much as possible, and I was more encouraged to do that because I did not want to be someone who couldn't enjoy the travel that we wanted to do. So December of that year, we decided to go ahead and pull the trigger on it and made the arrangements and started working on getting our funds shifted to be able to pay for the trip, and paid for it in January of last year.
Couple of questions that came up. Kira, we've been together about 10 years. And Katie, thank you for reporting the inappropriate question. I appreciate that. So I guess at the end, it was really about, we both knew we wanted to do it. It was just a matter of how we were going to finance it. So, and then that was basically just rating the retirement accounts that we were at the time. Yeah, Michelle, I'm sorry, I don't have a mod. But at the time, that was really all there was to making the decision, figuring that part out.
Yep.
Are we enjoying the trip so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much. Very much. Very much. It's been a blast for me, at least, because I've seen a lot of things that I hadn't seen before. A lot of the places that I wanted to go and finally had the chance to do, and just thoroughly enjoying it.
I'm definitely enjoying it too. We were all really disappointed about Machu Picchu, but we also understand that that was something completely out of their control.
Yep.
And do we have any regrets? So that would be the one regret, that we didn't actually get to go to Machu Picchu, and that the situation that kept us from going was actually resolved either a day or 2 days after we left.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't possible for us to go. But again, that's kind of what happens a lot in international travel. Things get messed up.
We're traveling so far out, planning the journeys to these areas, that different things happen at those locations as we're continuing our journey. So it's all kind of fluid.
Donna was asking if we will share our age. So I'm okay with that. I'm 53.
60.
So
reluctantly 60.
Reluctantly 60. Well, the alternative, compared to the alternative, being 60 is okay.
Yeah.
Are you able to be healthy, or is the food too much temptation? So,
well, Leah did the video about the food a little while back, and kind of caused kind of a stir. But the food is good.
There's way too much salt in it, and there's not much we can do about that.
But there are, they do have some options that are fairly healthy.
Yeah.
It's not, everything's not fried food. It's not terrible. It's just after a little while, you get tired of what you have and you want something different. That's just human nature, pretty much. It's kind of hard to have pizza delivered to to your room from Domino's or something. And but they do have pizza on board. It's fresh made. But
depending on when you get
yeah,
it. But
yeah,
you actually
yeah.
you can order your own if you
Yeah,
want.
yes, you can. You can. They're very accommodating with the food. If you have any special requests, they're more than happy to accommodate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just recently got to that point where I'm back to just eating a little bit, and there's a little bit of temptation with some of the stuff, but you know the desserts they give you are such small portions, kind of makes it okay. When you grab one, you're not eating. No, you know.
That's true. You aren't really going overboard if you pick one because they're so small.
Yeah, you're not getting.
It's a bite and a half.
Yeah,
on
you're not
most
getting
of
that
them.
piece of cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory. That's about
That's enough
three
for
people
three
can eat
people.
on it. So that's one thing that kind of keeps us honest, I guess you could say.
So, Kathy, to answer your question, I don't know how many singles there are compared to couples. Obviously, there's always mostly couples because that's the way most people travel. But there are quite a few singles. I mean, we're
Yeah.
the friend group that we have. There are quite a few singles in that group. And so we've actually, instead of doing main time dining, we've gone to the my time that's more flexible because we want to have dinner with our friends and we can't do that when we're stuck sitting at a table for two. So
Yeah.
let's see. Glad your health is doing well. What are you doing? What were you doing in Guam? Military? No. So it was a military project. It was networking a bunch of buildings with fiber optic to control the environmental systems in the buildings. That's what the project was for. Okay, so the difficult part about living in a single room, just the storage space, really.
Yeah.
That'd be my biggest complaint is just
Yeah.
there's because we both because we overpacked, not enough there. Will we be going around the Horn of Africa since the Red Sea is unstable? So tomorrow is at 9 a.m. our local time is when we're going to hear that information, and I expect that Royal Caribbean will be putting it out to the news organizations right around the same time because, as we all know, that one of us TikTokers is going to be reporting on it as soon as that meeting is over.
Yeah.
So they might as well. So we don't know yet whether we're going to be going around the Horn of Africa, but I would guess so.
Yeah, it all depends on what they've been working on to make arrangements for alternate routes. So see how that goes.
We don't get old, we get experience. Yes, Katie. I agree.
Yep, that's true.
The most difficult part and what's been the best. So close quarters are kind of nice.
Yes.
In some ways.
Yes.
If anybody saw my Valentine's Day video, you'll see why. Because you're just always brushing up against each other, and it's just kind of nice. It's kind of cozy.
Yeah. Yeah, with the ship being 1,000 feet long, basically,
Yeah.
there's places that we can wander around to, and wander together, wander separately if we want to. So, yeah, it's nice. So,
while you guys are young, are you working on the ship? So technically, this is my job now. I don't know how lucrative it's going to be. I'm also working on a couple of pet projects of my own that I may share with you guys in a month or two. Steve is actually medically retired.
Yeah, I'm pretty much, after the heart attack, I was pretty much retired at that point, and wrapping my head around it, I think I finally have, but I help Leah do the things that she wants me to help with on the video parts. That sometimes I'll hold the camera or situate things for her, or run back to the room and grab something else, whatever.
Yeah.
That's about it for me.
He sets up the tripods and gets the microphones working too. Except this time you forgot to turn yours on. We got it.
I had it on, just not turned on.
Did we ship anything home while we were in LA? No, we didn't.
No.
We know the only thing I would have sent back was maybe the cold weather gear, but we still have
the Norway.
Yeah, we're going to be doing Norway, Iceland, all that stuff. So we will probably need that stuff again.
Yeah.
And let's see, what are your plans post cruise? I don't really know yet.
Yeah.
So I know we wanted to move from where right now. We're just outside of Houston. That's where
Yeah.
we've been kind of located for the last couple of years. Um, it kind of depends on what happens with the housing market and
Yeah.
what we can afford. So we need to sell that place and buy something else. But
Mhm.
again, it totally depends on what the housing market is doing. We might end up renting for a while. Is there anything that you wished you would have packed that you can't get? Um, Snacks. So I'm gonna say, even though this ship has like all the food you could possibly want, the thing that they don't have is snacks. So like candy bars or
No,
potato chips or
they
anything like
they
that.
kind of do down in the store, the ship store,
Oh,
but
sorry. Yes, there
but
is the ship
it's
store, but very limited.
and expensive because hey, you
And
know,
very expensive.
it all takes up space on the ship.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few little things. If you want something, you can probably find something close to it here on the ship. But for the most part, I think we're doing okay with what's provided as far as food. You know, snacks would be nice, but
Yeah.
you know, there again, we don't really need the snacks.
So when we were in LA, I did get snacks.
Yeah,
I got peanut M&M,
yeah.
one bag of peanut M&Ms, and
Oh, we did get the bag of Girl Scout cookies
oh, we didn't
from
get
Brian.
yes, those were a gift. We didn't go search
Yeah.
those out.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. Um, and then I got a couple of Reese's peanut butter cup things. So
Yes.
that
Yes.
was my splurge.
Yes.
But again, only like one and two. Yeah, $7 Pringles.
Mm.
Exactly, Donna. It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
Um, oh God, I'm trying to. Sorry, I have to ban someone. I don't know how to do that. Okay, putting him in a timeout instead. 24 hours. There we go. So I'm doing a double live stream, one on YouTube and one on TikTok, and there's somebody on the YouTube side that is just being disgusting. So I know there are a couple of other TikTokers that we're friends with the whole group of TikTokers,
Yeah.
but Allie and Andrew, every time they get a place where they can go grocery shopping, they're
Oh,
picking
yeah.
up potato chips. And um, and Jenny mentioned in a live before about the peanut M&Ms. That was her favorite
Yeah.
thing too.
Yeah.
And they've been a favorite of mine for a while. So, Kira, you missed the story about how we met. We were both working in Afghanistan at the time, and we developed a friendship there, and then started seeing each other after I came back, or actually both of us were
Yeah.
back. And let's see, Michelle wants to know, or says that Japan will have a ton of weird snacks. You know, I've been looking at those. Like, Japan really does have weird snacks. Like, it's stuff that you would expect to see, but with flavor, you know, like, say, Pringles, but with weird, like, fish flavors or something just random that you wouldn't expect to see paired with potato chips.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to trying some of that at least. I mean, it'll be interesting.
True. Very interesting.
And Kira says the snacks in Japan are amazing. Kit Kat bars. Yes, we have to try strange things.
Yeah.
And Katie says, thank you for your service. Even civilians serve. Thank you very much, too, for that.
Yes.
What are we looking forward to the most? Which country? So, yeah, the country I'm looking forward to most was Petra in Jordan, and I'm pretty sure that's going to get canceled tomorrow, officially canceled tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm replacing it with yet, because, well, actually, that's another thing. So we don't know what ports they're going to be replacing that itinerary with. So there might be something amazing
Very true.
that comes up with that.
That is very true.
Well, I mean, all of Europe we're excited to see. Yeah, I mean, everywhere.
Yeah. Of course, with the idea of a big shakeup on our itinerary, I'm sure Royal Caribbean has been working hard to find us, you know, some good locations to stop at and things to do in different locations, since everything's getting, they're shuffling the deck basically is what's going to happen. But they've been doing a good job. Their primary concern, of course, is the safety of the passengers, crew, and of the ship too. So that's their primary goal, and we understand that. Unfortunately, there's bad players in the world, and things got to get changed around a little bit. That happens.
So Donna also asked if we researched the ports prior to arriving. So not for South America, just, being from the United States and traveling as much as we have, we're fairly familiar with most of those ports. Not so much on the southern end, but we probably will for the next segment. And actually, once we get the new itinerary and the ports, once we know about those, we'll for sure have to do some research on those, because that'll give us, one, it's going to give us an idea of how many of the excursions that we've planned that are now canceled. And once that happens, we'll be getting refunds for all of those. So we'll have some money to put towards that.
Yeah.
We budgeted fairly tight on the excursions. And you'll see, if you've watched my videos, the stuff we do is not as amazing as some of the other folks you might see.
Yeah.
Because we specifically tried to keep all of our excursions at $100 or less per person. So we do the simple things like that's, and this still frustrates me, because on the Channel Island one, I really thought, and that was at Ushuaia, I think. I really thought we were going to get to see penguins on that one, and we didn't. So
sea lions.
We saw really smelly sea lions, and they were cute. They were very cute.
I won't say they're cute, but
well, they weren't penguins.
No, not penguins.
They were not penguins. And I mean, I've seen penguins in real life before, but it's not this. I've not seen them in the wild before.
Yeah.
So
I haven't.
that makes a difference. Now you know why my name is Frugal. Yes. Would love to see you both in more videos. See? Yeah. I have to do that. Let's see. Yeah, more comments about snacks in Japan and Petra being on the bucket list. Yeah, I'm really...
Yeah, that was, if we had to line them all up, that would have been the number one to see Petra.
Katie says we might see penguins in Africa. So that
would be nice.
That would be cool. That would make me happy.
Yeah.
Was there a health emergency on board yesterday? Yes, there was. So we don't know exactly what it was, but there was a call out for A positive blood. Yeah. And you know what? So this is really amazing. So we heard the announcement. We had to open the door because they don't do those announcements in our room. But we heard that there was an announcement going on, so we opened the door so we could listen to what it was. And they made the request. And Steve and I kind of looked at each other. So I'm A positive, and he's O negative. So he's a universal donor, and I had the blood type they were asking for. So we both went down. It probably took us maybe 5 minutes to get down there.
At the most,
and there was already 20, 25 people.
Yes.
Waiting to, volunteering to the call. And and all of us were looking around like, I can't, within 5 minutes, they had that many people volunteering to donate. And then they gave us some restrictions, like they didn't want, they wanted A positive only. And then there was another restriction. And then you had to have a donor card.
Verify
the blood type, and that you had given blood within a certain amount of time, the dates, or haven't, right?
Well, you're not drinking too much.
So we didn't meet either of those criteria, so we went ahead and left. But there were still a good 10, 15 people there just sort of waiting it out to see how that was going to go.
Yeah, it was really nice to see that many people that quickly.
Yeah. And
to volunteer.
Not that this should really affect anything, but yesterday was also a formal night.
Yeah.
So what made it kind of funny was that everybody who was down there is dressed up in like tuxedos and suits and their fancy wear, and ready to stick their arm out and give blood. So that was also really cool.
Yes.
It apparently didn't matter to anybody that they were in their fancy clothes. They were still ready to do what needed to be done.
And there again, I think it also shows the tight-knit community that we've developed over the last 2 months. One with obviously those of us who started in Miami, but those who have gotten on since and are continuing on. I know a bunch of people left in LA, but a bunch
Mm.
got on. So it's really interesting to see the closeness that this
Yeah.
ship has brought people.
And we meet new cool people all the time. So
Yep.
last night at dinner, we met a couple who got on in LA.
Yep. Yep.
I
Going to
I
Dubai.
won't give a whole bunch of information about them, but they're from
Yep.
Canada, from Halifax.
Yep.
And we had a really nice conversation with them for like an after dinner, because we don't like to interrupt other people's dinner. If chit chat happens, that's fine. But anyway, it started after. Oh, thank you for the heart and the crown. Thank you. I think that was Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. Let's see. Your videos have been great and love getting to follow along. Took a cruise on Serenade in the Seas in Baltic to Russia. Fun to see the ship again. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying seeing the ship around.
Yeah.
And Simonstown in South Africa is called Penguin Town, and the Smithsonian Channel did a special on it. Oh, that's so cool.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so
Thank you.
I'm feeling better. Maybe that I will
Yes.
actually at some point get to see penguins on this
Yes.
trip.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So appreciate that information. Thank you. Let's see. I don't see anything else. So, what else would you like to go over? We can go over like
adjust a little bit.
what a regular day is.
Yeah, we could do that. Which, well, of course, the sea day is always.
Lots of sea days on this one.
Yeah, we have between LA and Hawaii. There's 5.
Yeah, 5.
And then between Hawaii and Tahiti, is that the first one?
I think it's French Polynesia.
French Polynesia. We have another 4 or 5, so quite a few on this leg. But it's nice. We can we can lay in bed and lounge as long as we want. That's one of the nice things. Unfortunately, it gets too comfortable and you start. I need to get up.
Yeah.
But we get up and go get some breakfast. And
Catherine, we are journaling to remember all this stuff. And let's see. Yeah, yes, we do know Anita. I'm sorry, not Anita. Adita. She hasn't come to any of our content creator meetings, but we see her on the ship all the time.
She stopped by the last one for a few minutes. She was helping somebody with something.
Actually, that's true. Yeah. She was so the last meeting we had was in the Vortex Lounge, and she had come up to help somebody with one of the visas that they did. There's a few visas that are problematic. The country system that they have for processing them is very picky.
Yeah.
So anyway, she came up to help somebody with that, and we were having the meeting, so she stopped by for a little bit and chatted with us. So that was nice.
Yes.
Do you keep a schedule? So I wake up when the sun comes up. So I'd like to say we keep a schedule, but we're changing time zones so fast that like I'm all messed up now. So the sun comes up, that's when I wake up. Sometimes I get up right away and sometimes I don't. He sleeps way more than I do.
Same. Still rocking to the boat.
It seems like you're staying so busy you don't have time to visit with us. That's the way it should be. I don't know. I mean, I do try to do the videos every day. Yeah. Sometimes I miss out, but
the live streams are fun.
The live streams are fun. I enjoy doing these.
Actually getting to get the questions and people commenting is nice.
And have I felt bored yet? No. We need to start getting back to the gym. We haven't done that in a while.
Yes, definitely need to.
We got out of the habit of it because the seas were so rough. It's really hard to lift weights or, for that matter, walk on a treadmill when the ship's doing this. And it was just making us both sick. So we need to get back into the habit of doing that.
Definitely need to.
And there's enrichment lectures and there's all sorts of things, different meetings about, or I don't even know if I'd call them meetings, but they do a destination talk. We have port stops. There's always a destination talk where they about the history, what there is to see and do in those areas, that kind of thing. So let's see, board, do you keep a schedule? So we do sort of keep the schedule. Like I said, I get up whenever the sun comes up, and then we just plan the day after that. Um,
Well, one thing about the drapes, they block the sun out pretty well.
mm.
So,
Oh, Michelle, I'm so sorry to hear that your husband had a heart attack in the past. Yeah,
oh
stay healthy,
yeah,
Steve. I'm very sorry to hear
yeah,
that,
yeah.
Michelle.
Sorry to hear that. Hope he's doing well.
Yes, so I hear Bobby is posting the Daily Compass, and I saw that she was doing that. Yeah, we have a lot of options. There's
Yeah,
a ton of stuff to do, and boy, if you love trivia, cruising is the way to go because there's like 18 different types of trivia and going
yeah,
on at any given time
yeah,
around the
yeah.
ship. So Matt said that there was another. You heard there was another kerfuffle. I'm not sure. There was one
Mm,
week or so ago off the ship, but as far as I know, there hasn't been
yeah,
anything on the ship.
yeah. I haven't heard anything.
What is our favorite activities? Honestly, I like
Mm,
the content creator meetings. Those are my favorite because it's just a bunch of minds getting together and exchanging stories and sharing what works and what doesn't work. As far as the activities, I guess we go to the shows a lot in the evening.
yeah, we'll do the shows. Also, one thing I've got to where I like is all the people that we've gotten to meet. Just sitting around talking with them. There's some really
Really
neat,
interesting
really
people.
interesting and neat people that we've met. Some of them they're so much fun to be around. A lot of laughs, a lot of enjoyment going on. I've gotten to meet quite a few of the Australians, and those people are just amazing. I've always loved the Australians. Uh, and so we got a few of those that are still on the ship. Some left in LA, but there's still a bunch on the ship. And I think a couple got back on, joined us on that port to head down to Brisbane. But yeah, it's all the people that we've met, all the different backgrounds that they have
Mm.
has been really neat. And it's really interesting to see how many Steves are actually
Oh,
on this ship.
that's kind of a running joke.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
time we meet a new couple, it seems like the man is named Steve. Michelle, I'm glad he got healthy again.
Oh, good, good.
Has the ship had to do any rescues? So no, we have not. We
Mm-mm.
actually thought they were going to during the first sailing, because there were some folks, like two guys in a dinghy out in the middle of
Oh yeah,
nowhere.
yeah, yeah. We're sailing off of Argentina, was it?
So I'm guessing it was illegal fishing or something, because we did not stop. Yes, we would have, and if there had been if there had been a reason to do a rescue, but we didn't.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
um, yeah. Do you play card board games with others on board? Oh,
Well, there you go.
so one of the content creators, her husband, he got a set of magic cards delivered in LA. A friend of his brought those to him. So we played Magic a couple nights ago, and he also created his own desktop game. So we've been player testing that, and that's a lot of fun. I'm
It's
enjoying
pretty
that.
interesting. Yeah,
Magic
yeah,
is really complicated compared to the game he made up. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I really love all the creators and the different perspectives. Yeah, so
That
let's
is.
see.
Yeah, 'cause
The group that we've got, I think, is really amazing. And it's neat that we're all like different. We're different ages, we come from different backgrounds. We have different priorities, and some of us
mhm.
are I don't know. Yeah, somebody mentioned Little Rat Brain. She is so creative and so hilarious. I love watching her
She's.
stuff. And yeah, LRB should host an art
Mhm,
activity. But she
mhm.
goes to the art activities. The first
Yeah,
place I think we met her and her mom was at a we had put a meeting together, and they were
it was in
doing
the
in the
pub.
pub. There
The
was a
pub.
I can't remember what they were making.
Uh,
It might have been something to do with Christmas, like Christmas decorations, I
Maybe
think.
so.
Um, but yeah, that was where we first met her.
But
Will you
yeah,
get?
there's. So, I'm sorry. There
Mm,
was everyone that's all the bloggers and bloggers and all that.
yeah.
Everyone has their own point of view. They all wanted to get something different out of the cruise. They're all here for their own reasons. It's neat to see how that all kind of blends together. There's some really good people all the way around. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So do they have different shows each night? They repeat some of the shows. And I'm not sure how that's going to change
Yeah.
with our changing itinerary.
They'll do an early show and then a late show,
Hmm.
and it's usually the same.
Right.
Supposed to be the same show, but of course, you know, if anyone has been to live shows like that, even from one to the next, they can have a little bit of different stuff in there that just because of what happens. You know, sometimes they have to ad lib us a little something here and there.
So Matt is asking, will we get security against pirates off of Africa? So we don't know that yet,
Yeah.
but I guarantee you, when we assume that they're going to tell us that we're going around Africa, and that's going to be the first question asked. Because
Yeah.
if somebody else doesn't ask it, I am. Because that, see, to me, I realize that the Red Sea is dangerous, but the alternative isn't exactly a whole lot safer, in my opinion. So, David, the whole trip seems like a nightmare. No, it's actually, we're having a great time. And actually,
Yeah.
you know, it's getting mixed up, and that keeps it interesting for sure.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not a nightmare. It's a lot of fun.
Mm. Did we catch Edna May? I don't think we did. But yeah, they are flying in talent for the shows. In fact, all of the meetings that we had with Royal Caribbean before the cruise started, they were pretty much was just to let us know what kind of entertainment we were going to have. And they were bringing in locals from all of the places we were visiting. So we've had some really phenomenal entertainers for the whole way around South America. How that's going to change the next part, I have no idea. Are some people working remotely, doing school remotely on the ship? Yes. So I heard yesterday that there were 47 people under the age of 18 on the ship. And now the ones from South America, if they're still on, I think it was their summertime, so it wasn't school time for them. But all of the other ones, as far as I know, are doing school remotely. And there are several people
homeschooling something.
Right, several people who are working remotely on the ship. I don't have a count of how many that is, but I would imagine it's quite high. Yeah, Brooklyn is telecommuting grad school from the ship. That's true. I see her working in it. So before the Vintages bar opens, it doesn't open until like 6 or so, but during the day when it's closed, it's one of the few places out in public where they have plugins for the computer. So I see her there with her headphones on quite often.
One long table.
Yeah, and there's
one side that just she gets all her stuff out over there and works there.
Yeah. Let's see. I do not have any more questions coming up. So I'm gonna, there's another live going on right now that, and Steve and I have, or actually Steve has an appointment to talk to somebody at guest services about the visas that we still need to get. So I think I'm gonna end this live at 38 minutes here. And let's see, are the crew responsive if you ask for an area like Vintages to be quieter? No, there's nothing they can do about it. It's loud all the time because of the music.
Yeah, it's right there at the Centrum, and majority of the time during the day, they have one of the music talents down there playing.
Yeah.
There's 3 ladies that play strings, and they're amazing.
Thanks, Kira, for being here. I appreciate that.
Then there's one gentleman, I can never pronounce his name.
Wojnek. It's Polish.
Yeah, and he was playing down there for a while.
Yeah. No, I was trying to pronounce his name, and I'm going to get it wrong too.
but the live music they have during the day, it's not real loud, but it's not going to be a quiet situation because they're trying to entertain people as we're cruising along during the day. But there's other places I think that they can get if they really need some quiet. So.
Well, the card room on deck 4 is my go-to for quiet. And a lot of times the Vortex is too. As long as there's not an activity going on up there, it's usually fairly quiet up there.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so you're going to go find out about our visas, and I think I'm going to join another live stream. So you guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And
thanks for the questions. Thanks for the well wishes.
Thursdays are going to be my regular live streams. I'm going to start at least doing them once a week. Maybe extras, but this is Thursday evening is going to be a regular. And so we'll see you next week.
If there's any family and friends back home, love y'all. We're having a great time. And I needed to give a shout out to Texas Flex.
Okay,
I
Texas
told
Flex.
him I try to do that. So Texas Flex, you know who you people are. It was the gym that we were going to back home, and some great people there.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.